Hey guys, meals for the week. On Friday I made a slow cooker taco chicken bowl recipe, but instead of using chicken breasts like the recipe called for, I used some smoked chicken drumsticks. Then I added some salsa, black beans, corn, chilies, oregano, cumin, and some chicken stock. I didn't add any salt or anything because the smoked chicken and the salsa are quite salty. So I just let it cook for 8 hours on low. I took the chicken out and I shredded it and returned it to the sauce, stirred it up, and I served it over rice with some roasted red pepper, red onion, and sugar snap peas. Oh, we had some cheddar cheese on top as well. It was too spicy for the kids, so I just gave them roast chicken, but they had everything else that we did. And then on Saturday, Halloween morning, I made spiderweb pancakes. We thought it was fun to switch it up a little bit, and seeing as it was Halloween, it was kind of fun and appropriate. So I found this recipe in a magazine. I can't remember which one though, but it's your basic pancake recipe, but you take out a quarter of the batter and you add a tablespoon of cocoa powder to it, stir it up really well until it's well combined, put it in a piping bag, and then you pipe out a spiderweb pattern, and you top it with some of the plain batter, and you just cook it as you would normal pancakes. As you can see, it took me forever to do this, especially because I was holding a camera. But it was fun. It was really tasty because it had that slight hint of chocolate from the spiderweb, and the kids thought it was like the most amazing thing ever because they really love Halloween. So we served it with some butter and maple syrup. And then later that night we had leftovers. I took out the leftover slow roasted lamb shoulder that we had the previous Sunday. I put it in the freezer with the pot and everything. So I defrosted it overnight, and then I took the meat off the bone of the lamb, and then I returned it to the pan, heated it up until it was piping hot, and then I served it with some steamed rice and roasted cauliflower. And on Sunday night, I made my baked gnocchi with the gnocchi that I got from Lidl. It was okay. It wasn't that great because the texture was a bit gummy and pasty. I usually like my gnocchi kind of more bouncy, if that makes sense. But it was nice because the sauce was really nice and all the cheeses on top and everything, because I put ricotta, mozzarella, and parmesan, and it was the sauce and the cheese made up for the weird texture in the gnocchi. And I served it with green beans. And then later that night I made sandwich BAPS for my daughter's lunches for school. I don't make a lunch for her every day, but I just wanted to make some because she likes these ones. It's just my regular dinner roll recipe, but I made them a bit flatter so I had more surface area to put more stuff into. And I put them in little bags and just store in the freezer and it lasts about 2 or 3 weeks for her lunches and snacks or whatever. And then on Monday we had 1 pan roast chicken and veggies. So I've got butternut squash, potatoes, and asparagus, and I'm also sauteing some mushrooms on the side there in some butter and some parsley. So this is it plated up. That's my husband's, and that's mine. And that's my kids. I left out the butternut squash because they really hate mushy textures. On Tuesday morning, we woke up bright and early to make cookies before school. Don't ask me why. And it was really good, actually. It was a really simple recipe, and I loved the fact that you just rolled the dough up into 2 logs and slice off what you need. That way you have fresh cookies whenever you want. It was really good. And that night, I made a sausage and lentil soup with heck sausage meat and some brown lentils, some celery, carrots, onions, and garlic, and everything went into my giant soup pot. So I just browned the sausage meat until they were crumbly and cooked all the way through. Then I added the veggies and sauteed them until they were softened but not too caramelized. Then I added passata, the lentils, some garlic, chicken stock, and I let it all simmer for about an hour until the lentils were nice and tender. And when it was cooked, in the recipe they said to add Swiss chard, but I happened to have some kale in the freezer, so I just used that. and it was really good. And to serve with it, I roasted some red peppers and onions, and it went over some raw spinach leaves as a kind of warm salad, and it was just simply dressed with balsamic vinegar. And I found half a baguette in the freezer, which I warmed up in the oven and stuck that on as well. On Wednesday, I made my husband's favorite, oxtail stew, and it's just a simple, basic stew recipe, you know, with celery, onions, carrots, beef stock, Worcestershire sauce, some red wine. I simmered it for about 5 hours, and I served it with polenta and some sauteed kale on the side. And on Thursday morning, I made silver dollar pancakes. I made a big batch. I usually do this once a week or every 2 weeks. I make them nice and small so that the kids can handle them better. And I use this little scoop, ice cream scoop thing to get even sizes. And I just store them in the freezer for quick breakfasts. So later that night, I made another Laura Vitale recipe. It's a butternut squash gratin, and I served it with some pan-fried salmon and some steamed broccoli. This recipe is to die for. It's just amazing. If you love butternut squash or winter squash, you're gonna love this. My kids don't like butternut squash, so they got roasted potatoes. I'll put a link to all the recipes that I used, unless it was something I made up myself. But yeah, hopefully you can try them and enjoy them too. This is what the gratin looked like inside, and luckily there was lots left over. So that's all we had this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!